This tutorial will look at using NPM, the Node.js package manager system with Blend4web. NPM has become the standard for accessing application building blocks on the internet. In addition to accessing the Blend4web modules, you can access a huge number of libraries, and the repository is growing at a fantastic rate. I recommend that you watch my previous tutorial on Node.js. In the previous tutorial, I showed how to use the copy of Node.js that comes with Blend4web. In this tutorial, I recommend that you download and install Node.js from its website. This tutorial is going to use the tutorial by Alexander Romanov as a guide. The starting point for this tutorial is the Node.js website, where you can download the latest stable version. I'm using Windows. Click Save File. Run the downloaded MSI file to install Node.js. Follow the instructions to install. The install program will add the Node.js folder to the path environmental variable. If you followed my previous tutorial and you added the Blend4web copy of Node.js to the path environmental variable, you will need to remove it. Click Next and Install. And when the installation is complete, click Finish. Next, I'm going to work through the NPM Node Packet Manager tutorial at the Blend4web website. Go to the blog and to the NPM tutorial. Scroll down to where it says, after this, Node.js is installed and ready for work. Note that you will have to restart the computer after installation for the path variable to be updated. Open the project directory and create a new folder in it. Name it something like B4W test. I'm going to create the folder in the root of my drive G, and I'm going to call the folder Dominoes 1. Next, we have to enter these lines into a command line interface. The one that I'm going to use is the one that comes with Node.js, the Node.js command prompt. We have to go into the folder that I just made, G: for drive G, CD Dominoes 1. Next, we enter the command npm init that asks a few questions and creates the file package.json. I'm just going to press enter. We're going to overwrite the file anyway. And if I enter the command dir, we see the package.json file in the folder. Next, we enter the command npm install Blend4web, which installs the Blend4web API into the Nodes module folder, creating the folder if necessary. Entering dir. We now have a Nodes modules folder. Amongst the Blend4web files copied into the Node modules folder is an example project. Next, I'm going to copy the files from the example project into the folder that I created. And that is a lot easier to do using Windows File Explorer than using the command line interface. Into Drive G, the folder that I made was Dominoes1, into Node Modules, Blend4web, Projects, My Project, select all, right-click, copy, go into Dominoes1 folder, right-click and paste, replace the package.json file we want to, click replace. Before we can run scripts that will open the project in a browser, we have to enter the command npm install. At the Node.js command prompt, enter the command. Now we can enter the run command. On my system, where Firefox is the default browser, I just get a black screen. But if I copy the URL and paste it into Chrome browser, the scene loads. Going back to the tutorial, it says after this you can edit the code of the application and watch the effect by refreshing the page. Webpack Bundler automatically recognizes any changes made to source files and updates the application on the fly. And to stop the server, press Ctrl and C. Ctrl and C. Terminate the job, yes. As the tutorial says, we can modify an existing project, but we can also use the files from an existing project to make a new project. I'm going to make a new project, but I'm not going to use the file from the tutorial. I'm going to use this file, which is a file I made in one of my first Blend4web tutorials. If you want to use this file, you can download it from my website. The first thing I'm going to do is overwrite the 3D scene in the existing project, File, Export, Blend4web JSON, go to the Dominoes1 folder, the Assets folder, click on the JSON file and click Export to overwrite it. For simple projects, and for projects where all the logic is in the Blender file, not in the JavaScript file, that may be all you need to do. This file uses physics. The example project doesn't. I will have to do something about that. Going back to the tutorial and scrolling down to look at the finished JavaScript file, this is where the physics is added. Right-click, copy. We need to add the lines to the project's JavaScript file. Right-click. I'm opening the file in the text editor that I use, Notepad++. Click, right-click and paste. And don't forget to save before we do NPM run start again. Copying and pasting back into Chrome. and it all works. It works on the fly on a local server, but we haven't got the distribution files, the files that we need to upload to a web server. In particular, we haven't got a bundle file, but I'll show you how to make one in the next tutorial, where I'll take a closer look at Webpack. That's the end of this tutorial. I'll put all the files used in the tutorial for you to download at my website. To visit my website, click the eye icon in the top right hand corner. If you'd like to subscribe, click the stickman. If you'd like to sponsor my tutorials, click the Patreon link. Thanks for watching and goodbye.